Okay, so again, welcome to day 4 of our Kasimovian workshop. It's been wonderful so far. Next slide, please. I'd like to begin by again reminding everyone of the support that we've gotten from the Museum of Natural History support staff. That's been really, especially for Spencer and I, a lot goes on behind the scenes of arranging the slides and getting the talks up and running and doing all kind of recording everything. So these guys have done a great job. They've been pretty much invisible to the rest of us, which is good, because if they were visible, that would mean we were having lots of problems. So we're not. And again, I thank them very much. And this has been really great. Next slide, please. Okay, day 4 is divided into 2 parts. We'll have 3 talks. They're highlighted in yellow there on the side on animals. So we'll be really looking at animals. One of them will be looking at animal-plant interactions. And then the conclusions and summary talks are there at the bottom in sort of a pinkish color. And they'll not be exactly summaries, but they'll cover the major groups in some way or another, the major areas that we've been talking about during this talk. Next slide, please. Okay, so the first of our talks will be on continental ichnology. I'm following Spencer's style here. It'll be by Matt Stimson and his co-authors. And Matt will be telling us both about the animals, but also about the traces that the animals leave for us to see of them. And that'll be, I think, most interesting, having seen his talk in advance. I look forward to hearing him present it, having gone through all the slides. Next slide, please. That will be followed by Mike Donovan. I had to put this cockroach up for Jorg. It's just as an aside, when I was in graduate school, I was in a basement lab, a big lab, and right behind us were the animal rooms. It was an enormous number of them, and we were plagued by cockroaches. If you were washing I worked with coal balls. If you were washing a specimen off to get oil and stuff off of it after you cut it, if you made the mistake of putting the brush down, face down on the sink, within an hour there will be cockroaches in it, laying their eggs. And so I hate cockroaches, Jorg. I'm glad that you like them. Next slide, please. But Mike is going to talk about, in addition to the bugs, the damage that they do to plants and how we can infer what's going on out there in the arthropod world by looking at the trace fossils they leave. So he's kind of a follow-on to what Matt will be talking about. Next slide, please. And then here's everything you wanted to know about Kasimovian tetrapods by Spencer Lucas. He'll be giving us a broad sweep through the stratigraphy and the biology of this group of organisms. Next slide, please. Okay, then we're going to come to summary presentations. That will finish up the main talks, and we'll have 4 summary talks. Spencer Lucas on timescale. Neil Griffiths will talk about physical parameters, glaciation, climate, etc. John Wilson will give us a paleobotanical summary, and John is a plant physiologist, so we'll get, in addition to paleobotanist, so we'll get a lot of plant physiology there. And then, yes, Spencer Lucas, again, talk number 3 today. So you'll get your fill of listening to Spencer, who gives fine talks. And those will be the summary presentations that we'll hear after that. And I won't sum up those. They can sum themselves up. Okay, next slide, please. I also want to thank everyone here for making this meeting so interesting. I have learned an enormous amount here. The presentations have been wonderful. People really put a lot of work into them. The questions and the comments have been excellent. And I think we've had informative and productive discussions, Ms. Spell. It's been really great. And I must say, for just speaking for myself, this has been wonderful for me. I feel like I'm with my tribe or something. Here are all these people, we're all interested in the same thing. Out there in the museum world where I work, and especially in paleobotany, in the United States, there are very few people left working in Paleozoic paleobotany of any kind, Permian, Pennsylvanian, anywhere. And I hear the drumbeat of the Pennsylvania, the with the PETM, the Paleocene Eocene thermal maximum, the Paleocene Eocene thermal maximum. It's like, you know, is there anything else on Earth worth studying besides the Paleocene Eocene thermal maximum? And I'm really glad to be with all of you who really care a great deal about the late Paleozoic, what's going on in the late Paleozoic, and using that to understand the Earth system. I think we have a tremendous amount to offer, and I just can't express what a pleasure it's been to be with all these people who are interested in this, care about this, and have done such a great job talking about it and presenting it to all of us. So again, thank you all very much. I greatly appreciate what you've done here. It's been really wonderful.